Thanks, Zianda, as we're about to wrap up our coverage for today here at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College. I'm now joined by Doc. Thank you very much for your time. I really, in fact, I wanted to start where Zianda and Lukhona actually left it, because we are here by and large because of the politics, but the influence in particular of politics in our criminal justice system, and many people thinking we are here precisely because perhaps the politics kind of took over when we should have let the people who are entrusted with the responsibility of protecting all of us should have actually done. As you walked in, you would have seen the MK party picketing outside, which they did before the commission started, and they have, of course, continued. From where you sit, Dr. Ndou, where do you think those who are watching this process keenly, who do you think has taken what from day one of this commission?
Good afternoon, Vuyo. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. I think this is the day that most South Africans are waiting for, and it has also attracted the interest even beyond the borders of the Republic. And from the first minute when General Mkhwanazi took his stand, what impressed me is that he appeared to be very much relaxed, and he also appeared to be very much prepared for the day. He, through the evidence leader, we were able to, not to a much bigger extent, but we've been able to get exactly where we wanted to go. I've not heard of...
It's their job after all.
Indeed.
As they're called evidence leader.
I haven't got, or I did not observe any form of contradictory statements from the statements that he made in July. He appears to be saying, this is exactly what happened. And what also strengthens, in my view, his evidence is the fact that he says, this is not just my concern alone. There are other people who have raised this kind of concerns. It means this has been affecting the operations of the SAPS. But you would know that you would have both negative and positive interest in these activities. Hence now, the MK party is here and of course protesting about the commission's establishment, and they feel that it is not properly constituted.
Actually, they're back in court tomorrow with the same challenge they brought before court a couple of times. Let's go to another player, the EFF, who said, Judge Madlanga, take yourself out of this whole thing. It's going to taint your reputation. Do you think they will still hold on to that position after day one?
You wouldn't know with politicians. They would be having very good reasons why. But the challenge that we face with this kind of a commission is that in his statements in July, General Mkhwanazi implicated almost everyone who is a major role player in the body politic of South Africa. He implicated the judiciary, he spoke about some in parliament, and indeed some in the executive. And that's why the biggest word today is that if nothing was done, the entire SAPS would be collapsing and it was going to negatively affect the country. My view is that when we have a moment similar to this one, maybe it is the right moment where we are able to get all the necessary information. We should also be able to solve the challenges that we have out of this kind of commissions, and then we are able to move forward, because it appears as if indeed there were serious things that were not going on right and involving very top officials of the SAPS and indeed those of government. We can't just leave it like that.
Now, one of the key takeaways from me, certainly from what happened inside throughout the day, was how Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi managed, or what he had to say around the fact that the minister was new but went on to close a unit about which he never even bothered to speak to people who were involved or who were in charge to say, give me a report of what actually happened. Then went on to say, or to suggest that for something that was put in place or put together at the instruction of the president, he ought to have, at the very least, informed him. And I took that to also mean that it would not have happened without the president's consent. Now, what do you think that does, or that may lead this commission to say and do, or even perhaps possibly call the president himself to say, what do you have to say about what has been put before us? And I'm saying all of this knowing fully well that Minister Mkhunu is, of course, yet to come forward and probably punch holes in some of the narrative that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi put before the Commission.
Vuyo, what we have observed over a period of time in South Africa is that when there would be a moment for cabinet reshufflement, or when there is a moment for a new administration to come in, you will still get ministers that are coming from the same political parties who would occupy, take over from other portfolios, but they will act as if they're not coming from the same political party. And I think that is why there's an emphasis that this unit is disbanded by the minister who's new. My view is that when you get into the position, there should be a process of handover. Be able to deal with important issues that are taking place in the department, and whatever decision you take should also be informed about what has happened in the past, what were the discussions in the past, and of course, whatever decision that you have to take should be in line with the discussions that are going on in the department. And of course, I wouldn't have expected, if there's something right that is happening, I would have expected the minister to be able to talk to the president about the disbandment of this important task team. And if that is not the case, therefore it will justify the statement by Mkhwanazi that indeed there is interference, but there is an element of disregarding important teams that have been established, which raises very serious concerns for the people out there. And of course, if you listen to him, he emphasized this on numerous occasions, that there are people who were worried about the political killings. They couldn't find closure. And when they do not see any progress happening in regard to this task team, it negatively affected these people that are police officers who are aware that they've got a responsibility to ensure that these people know the truth, and at the end they need to get closure.
Well, we're going to end it on that political note here at the Justice College. But as Dr. Ndou was saying, there are people who have been affected by everything that has been said by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. And those people are looking up to this commission to see if they can find not only answers, but also closure to the things that have happened to them, to things that have also happened to their relatives.